All right, start of chapter 3. Today we'll be learning about pairs of lines and some angles. First we'll start off with some lines. You kind of already probably know what parallel lines are. You've seen those before. But let's start with skew lines. Now, skew lines and parallel lines are the same in that they both never intersect. The difference is that one of them is coplanar and the other is not coplanar. Remember, coplanar means to lie in the same line. So skew lines don't intersect and are not coplanar. So to give you a visual of that, and hopefully you can see this okay on the camera. Got my two lines here, although there may be more segments, but imagine them as lines. So skew lines would not intersect and would not lie on the same plane. So if they were going like this, they would be skew. Whereas parallel lines also don't intersect, but they lie on the same plane. So parallel lines might look something like that, lying on the same plane, okay? Or something like this. Same plane, not lying on the same plane. So skew lines, parallel lines, and then planes as well can be parallel. So obviously parallel planes are going to be two planes that never intersect. So you can imagine the ceiling and the floor as planes. We would consider those to be parallel planes. At least I hope they're parallel. So moving on, I can find my pen here. We have a couple new postulates. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video now and copy those down, otherwise you can come back and copy them later. We have parallel postulate, which says if there's a line, so here we have a point P, we have a line M. So if there's a line and a point that's not on that line, so P's not on M, then there's exactly one line through that point that's parallel to your given line. So M's the given line. This is saying that if you put a point somewhere off of M, there's only one line that can go through that point that's parallel to line M. So that would be line N in this case. Same thing can be true for perpendicular lines. So if you have a line like this one and a point that's not on that line, then there's only one line that's going to go through point P that's perpendicular with line M. And again, perpendicular means they meet at a right angle. That's the definition. So again, take the time to get these copied down into your composition books whenever you have time, whether it's now or later. Now we have some angle pairs that are created when you have a transversal. So a transversal is going to be a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So I dropped my little yardstick here. So my transversals would be this line, it's intersecting these two. This is a transversal. This is a transversal. This is a transversal. So transversals, essentially a line that's going to cut two or more other lines, okay, or intersect them would be a better definition. And that's going to create some different angle pairs. All of these are important. We'll be learning theorems and a postulate that relate to these angles, so it's important to know which are which. First, we have our corresponding. So we'd say angles 1 and 2 here are corresponding. You're going to notice that they're both on the same side of our transversal. And if you look at each intersection here, there's 4 angles. We say they're corresponding because if you look at it, 1 and 2 are both in the top right angle. Okay, you could also have corresponding angles if they were both in the bottom left or top left together, bottom right together. So these two we say are corresponding. Then we have alternate interior angles. So we got angles 1 and 2 are alternate interior. The alternate means that they are on different sides of that transversal. So that's where the alternate comes in. And then interior, they're on the interior, or the inside of these two lines that are being intersected. So these are alternate interior angles. We also have alternate exterior. So again, alternate refers to the transversal. They're on alternate or different sides of that transversal. And then exterior, because now they're on the outside of these two lines. So alternate interior, alternate exterior. And then the last, we have same side interior. From the name, you can guess they'll be on the same side of that transversal, and they are the interior of those lines being transversed. Sometimes they are also called consecutive interior. So consecutive interior, same side interior, those are the same thing. Okay? Generally, we're going to refer to them as same side interior in this class. If you need to, pause it and look over these a little longer. Make sure you got it. So name a pair of each of the following. You got corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior. So corresponding, again, means they are going to be kind of in matching positions. They're on the same side of that transversal. So corresponding angles, I could possibly say angle 2 and angle 7. Okay. 2 and 7 are on that same side of that transversal, and here they're both on that kind of that left, or I suppose top left, if you will, side. Then alternate interior. So we got to look on the inside of these two, and then we need alternates. So one example could be angle 4 and angle 8. Another example could be 3 and 7. Alternate exterior, so now we want to go on the outside and be alternate, so we could say 1 and 6. And there is another pair of alternate exterior. Hopefully you can see that they would be angles 2 and 5. Finally, same side interior, same side of the transversal on the interior, so we can say angle 4 and angle 7. 3 and 8 would also be an option there as well. So again, main idea for today, knowing these different angle pairs, and then also understanding the difference between parallel and skew lines. So, what you should do now is pause the video, maybe 30 seconds to maybe a few minutes. See if you can determine what type of angle pairs these are, and then you can hit play and find out if you're correct. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that now. So if you paused it, hopefully looking at angles 1 and 12, their transversal for those two angles is this line here. The transversal is going to be the one that touches both those angles, or helps to form those angles. So you'll notice they're on the same side, and they're on the interior. Excuse me, I was looking at 2 and 12. 1 and 12. So 12's on the interior, but 1's not. But they're both kind of that bottom left. So we're going to say that those are corresponding. Six and 12. So 6 and 12. So here's our transversal right here. It's the one that they're both touching. They're on alternate sides, and they're on the interior of those two. So alternate interior. 4 and 6. So they both touch this line. 4 and 6 are on alternate sides of that line, and they're on the exterior of those two. Finally, we got 2 and 12. Probably guessed, it's the one we haven't used yet. 2 and 12, they're on that same side. They're both on the interior, so we can say same side, interior. Which are also called consecutive interior angles as well. So, again, you should know these different angle pairs. Also know the difference between skew and parallel lines. Pretty simple today. Basically, just got to know these 6 vocab terms, and you'll be good to start the chapter. Again, these are going to be very important to know going on. There's your assignment. If you like, you can go ahead and start that before coming to class, but do plan on having a majority of the hour to work on this. So if you get all done ahead of time, you might want to bring something else to work on. Hopefully, this video is high enough quality that you're getting something out of it.